to Two Cooks in the Kitchen. Today we are making chili crisp. You know, I'm all about the chilies and the condiments you can make with them. And you know, this doesn't have any whole chilies, but we're using chili flakes. And we're gonna make just a nice chili crisp. I've got some dried scallops. These add a lot of flavor and they crisp up really nicely. They have to be shaved down to smaller pieces. I'm gonna shave this garlic down to smaller pieces, the Serranos. I've got a quarter of an onion, and I'm gonna get to work on that and prepping all this stuff. And then we're gonna go in with some Star Anise, a cinnamon stick. I've got some black pepper, peanut oil, gives it a nice little flavor. It's just a touch of sugar and some cayenne pepper for more heat. And of course we'll be using tamari, which gives it just a little bit of umami flavor. And for our salt today, we will be using our Kona deep sea salt. So let me get this stuff prepped and we'll come back and show you how you make this stuff. All right, so I've got everything prepped up here. We're gonna go into a pan with our oil. It's 1.5 cups. I have slightly more because I was emptying a bottle of the stuff. I chopped up the Serrano into a fairly small dice. And the same with the garlic. You want this a little bit chunky, but not too much, because what we're gonna do here is cook this in the oil until it gets crispy. Same with the onion. And my dried scallops. And I'm also gonna put in this, because we want the flavors to come out, the cinnamon stick, 4 Star Anise, and a teaspoon of black peppercorns. You can use Szechuan pepper for this, but Kelly prefers it without it, so I just use black pepper. So now this is going to go on kind of a low heat, and we're going to let this simmer. We want it to boil a little. We don't want it to burn, but we want to let it simmer for at least a half hour until these things turn brown and get crunchy. And in the meantime, in a heat-proof container, we're going in with our cayenne, our chili flakes, the teaspoon of sugar, tablespoon of soy sauce, and which in this case is going to be tamari, because that will make this gluten-free. You wouldn't think about Chili Crunch having gluten, but you know, anything with soy sauce. Gluten, half teaspoon of salt. We'll use our delicious Kona sea salt. And once our oil is prepared, we're going to pour it in on this. So that's it until our stuff is cooked in the oil. So you can see this is cooking along nicely. It's starting to get a little bit brown. A few more minutes and it'll be cooked enough. We want these to be brown and crunchy. All right, so our stuff's been cooking along for, I'd say, about 40 minutes. The oil wasn't quite hot enough, so I cooked it a little longer. I turned it up. What you want is your oil to be right around 300 degrees. A little more is fine, but you don't want it to be smoking. But you can see that the stuff is cooked in here nicely. So I'm going to strain it off over our chili flakes mixture and all that. And we're going to let this...
Oh, yeah, put that right over the...
Where I'm going to put it. I'm going to let this cool a little bit. I don't have enough hands anymore. Spread this out, let it cool, and the other thing we need to do at this point is get our Star Anise and cinnamon stick out of here. Because that, even the Star Anise sometimes cooks enough to get to be chewable, but you know, you don't want to big old woody hunk of
Plus
anise.
the filling.
Yeah. So this looks like it's going to be nice and crispy. Our chili flakes are still cooking away in there. Give that a quick stir. That's just amazing. If the oil's hot enough, it really works fine. But it's got to be at least 300 degrees to get the magic to happen. And then we want to let it cool down to where it's not cooking anymore before we add this back in. And then that's it for our chili crunch. We'll come back when it's time to add this in. Okay, so let's recombine our stuff here. And this just looks like it's just going to be good and crispy. So now this is something you could use right away, but it's a lot better if you let this sit for a day and let the flavors marry a bit. We're going to put this in jars because it's easy to get at that way. But there you have chili crisp. Thanks for watching Two Cooks in the Kitchen. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.